Hi, it's Zubbo975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. Now today I'm going to touch upon a subject that I have had disagreements with my friends in Elite Dangerous. What you're seeing is me and Starry, we were trying to get over to support Frodo in this fight. We actually end up dropping in as he leaves on 1% hull. And to be fair, he's been fighting that vet for a while. He's got his shields down and he was like, just target its modules. And there's also a Mamba in there somewhere, which was also attacking Frodo. Frodo managed to get out of here in his dropship on 1% hull. Somehow he managed to survive on about 30% hull as I completed about 25 jumps across the bubble to get to him. In my throwback ship, the Diamondback Scout stealth ship. A ship you no longer see anymore really. Since engineering came on, it killed the Diamondback Scout stealth ship because of a missive. A missive and missiles killed the stealth meta. This is one of the things that engineering did which I think made the game worse. But my supposition is engineering did make the game worse. And I'm going to present my argument. You can fully disagree with me in the comments down below. But my argument is based on the original iteration of engineering into Elite Dangerous. The reason this was a failure was one, they locked it behind a paywall so you had to have the update to have access to engineering. That was a terrible idea. That really sucked. Secondly, it was based on random rolls. Again, terrible idea, sucked. It meant you could have exactly the same ship as somebody, spend the exact amount of time as them engineering it, but their version was way better than your version because they got randomly lucky. That's insane. Also, engineering immediately put a barrier in between casuals and hardcore players because the grind for engineering was so heavy. And is to this day still so heavy. It is such a limiting factor for players that don't have a lot of time when they play. Now FDev have over the years done things to mitigate this. They've made engineering easier and easier and easier, and in fact some of the changes they've done on Odyssey I would love to see on Xbox. The drop rate for signal sources, for example, they've made it insane that you just one high signal source will grant you enough materials. You don't have to dump into like 20. It literally has all the materials you could want to fill your bins in that one signal source. To an extent I think that's made it too easy, but that's by the by. When engineering first came in, it provided a huge barrier between the committed hardcore players and the lesser players. Now, at the time I had a lot more sympathy those first few years for people that used to use excuses like, oh my god, it's so unfair, they've got grade 5 engineered ships and they're attacking me. I think there is a limit to how much sympathy you can have for people saying that, because one, we've all had access to all the engineering now for a long time, and it's been part of the base game for an awful long time. I will just mention that I am about to switch to the Airwolf theme music because I'm in my Diamondback Scout stealth ship, which reminds me of Airwolf, and I'm old. But since they made engineering available to all, I think that argument went somewhat out the window. When it was behind a paywall, and if you didn't have the update, you didn't have it, I would certainly have sympathy for people being ganked by people with engineered ships when they had unengineered ships. However, as engineering is accessible to all and it's been made easier over time, I'm less sympathetic to people that say I don't have engineered anything, this is unfair. The main reason for that is because if you don't have engineered anything, I would recommend private group is probably the safest place to be until you're at an engineering level and you're able to compete in open. I know it sounds harsh, but there's a certain truth to the fact that engineering, it's a big part of the game, and it's certainly going to be easier for you if you have engineered ships. But the fact that it's open to everyone and it's the same grind for everyone, so if gankers and griefers can manage it, so can everybody. Now, the original engineering was definitely too prohibitive for very casual players to be able to do. But even someone like my friend Don, we managed to get him through engineering to get one fully engineered grade 5 ship. And I don't think getting one fully grade 5 engineered ship is beyond anyone. Apart from maybe Noxie of the Dark Marauders, who has not managed to fully engineer a ship in the entire time he's been with the Dark Marauders, and I will still bully him mercilessly and send him messages every time I see him, message him immediately, have you done your engineering yet, Noxie? I don't know why. He's always like, I'll do my engineering so I can come pirating with you. And then offering to PvP fight with us against IED by saying like, I can help, I can support, I can be a distraction. No, they would just kill you immediately, because those guys smell blood. If they see gamer tags they don't know, they will immediately target you to see how weak you are, and they will kill you mercilessly, which isn't any fun for a newbie. Yeah, so in a way, engineering very much ruined the game. It put a partition between the casual gamer and the hardcore gamer. I think because we've had engineering so long now, many like myself feel less sympathetic towards people using a lack of engineering as an excuse as to why they felt they were unfairly treated. And because engineering is open to all again, anyone can do it, so you know there's nothing stopping people from engineering. So it's less of an excuse these days, certainly, than it used to be. Personally, let me say, I enjoy playing Elite Dangerous. I've enjoyed playing all iterations of Elite Dangerous. I've been majorly disadvantaged in fights because my ships weren't engineered in the past, and it felt sucky. I'm now someone that's got a fully engineered fleet of ships, a carrier, and all the mod cons and luxuries. And yeah, I deliberately build ships that are weak, slow, and useless, so people don't log on me when I pirate them. So in a way, yeah, it is interesting. I just wish they'd made premium ammo only work in non-engineered weapons, so people who didn't do their engineering at least, you know, could get 30% extra power, and they didn't give people who had engineering access to an extra 30% on top, because I feel that would have helped. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think the thing is, if you took back the engineering now, we'd all get bored of the game because it would be slower, much slower. You couldn't boost as often. You certainly couldn't perma boost. Oh, the FDL crowd would go insane if you took away their thermal cascade weapons. Imagine that. But yeah, as a thought experiment, I can say honestly, when it first came out, engineering was a detriment. Now I think it's been a positive overall since it's been in, but it needed a lot of changes along the way. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I say that's all. Thank you very much for watching, and GG to these guys, it was a fun fight.